So good morning and welcome to the STA Virtual Expo. This is really quite odd for me because normally I'm the one organising events like this. So to be sat here talking to you guys now is really quite different for me. So I can see we've got a couple of people watching at the minute. So I'm just going to sort of fill a little bit of space for a little bit of time just so that we can get a few more in before I start. So that people have an understanding of who I am. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Weather here is all right. I've actually managed to get out of my bike today, which has been quite pleasant. Got 45 minutes in, which was nice. Okay, so we're up to 7. So I think 7 is a good number to start. So my name's Dave Monkhouse, and I manage a business called LeisureNet Solutions. Some of you may have heard about us, and you may have taken part in our Return to Swimming Lesson survey. If you did, thank you so much for that, because we managed to generate 47,000 responses from customers, and it's been really useful for the STA, for Swim England, and for all of the operators that took part to understand their customer view. And that's really what we're about as a business. We help you, operators, running your swim schemes, running leisure centres, running sports centres and health clubs, to understand your customers better. And the piece I wanted to talk to you today about is something called the Net Promoter Score. Now, the Net Promoter Score is a single question measurement tool. It's really straightforward, really simple, and most of you will have experienced the Net Promoter Score in some shape or form. And the question simply is, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being most likely, how likely are you to recommend Little Flippers Swim School to a friend or a colleague? And what you get is a really quick response. So people can score you anywhere between that 0 and 10. And we use something called a closed loop system. And the closed loop system means if somebody gives you a 0 to 6, they're a detractor. So they're talking about you in a negative way. They're not happy, you've made some mistakes, or they're just not happy with what you do. But what our system does is if they do score you 0 to 6, it says, okay, sorry, what did we do wrong? So you get your score, plus you get the opportunity to learn and get some feedback from people. If customers score you a 7 or an 8, they're called passive. And that means effectively they're neither detractors or promoters, which is where we want them to be at 9 and 10. And if somebody calls you a 7, again, our system says, okay, that's a really good score, thank you. But what would it take to get you to a 9 or a 10? And that way you get some improvement ideas. So people will tell you, actually, I really like this, but you could do this better. So it helps you improve your service and the thing that you deliver. If somebody scores you a 9 or a 10, that's where we really want to be, because a 9 or a 10 is a promoter. A 9 or a 10 is somebody that will talk about you in a positive way at the school gate or at a birthday party, those types of people. And they're really important to you because referrals are your lifeblood. Referrals are the way you grow your scheme and your business. So what we've done is created a platform that is very similar to that platform some of you may have used to see your results from your survey. And on that platform, you get your score, and your score is worked out by working out what your percentage of detractors is minus the percentage of promoters. So your score can be anywhere between minus 100 and plus 100. Now, back in 2019, we surveyed about 45,000 people across the sort of fitness, health and leisure sector, and the average for the UK in that sector was 38%. So that's a benchmark score, a score that you can try and aspire to. Can I be better than that? And if I'm not better than that, what could I do differently? You get that benchmark and you can compare yourself with others. And we've got a plan with the STA to look at some league tables so that you can see your results and your scores combined with others. And what we'll do is keep that anonymous, but we'll identify those organisations that are doing really well with a higher score. And we will talk to them about their best practice and if they're prepared to share that so that the whole sector can grow. But the most important part about Net Promoter Score isn't the fact that you've got a score and you're better than somebody else. It's about the 9s and 10s. It's about the referrals. Because ultimately, if you can get referrals, you will continuing to grow your business. You will keep seeing more parents, carers wanting to have their child, or it could be even an adult, learning to swim in your scheme. So what we've got on offer currently today is the Net Promoter Score, which is normally £30 per month per site. And we're selling that at £10 per month per site to STA registered scheme users. And the reason we're doing that is that we really want to help the STA to understand what's going on across the sector in different schools so that we have this ability to be able to create an STA score, which will be all of your scores combined together, plus seeing your score and helping you learn through looking at the feedback and looking at the information that you're generating as part of your survey. Now, I just need to get a quick drink. If anybody has ever used Paddy and Scott's, they're very, very good. Highly recommended. It's worth a thought. All right. Okay. So you use the Net Promoter Score in two ways. The first way is called transactional. Now, what lots of organisations do is wait until you've had a transaction. So, for example, you've bought a new car, you've had a new mobile phone, or you've changed your energy suppliers. And what you'll get is a survey that comes out, which is just a single question on a scale of 0 to 10. How likely are you to recommend this organisation to a friend or relative? And you give them their score. And that gives a lot of the bigger numbers that you see in things like the JD Power survey, which is around new car sales and things like that. So that's a transaction. So yours could be somebody's had their first swimming lesson, or somebody's moved from level 1 to level 2, or they've received their first badge. So it's that transaction moment. And you can do that manually by just having the hyperlink from the survey platform and sending that to people via email. You can even do it by SMS as well. The other way of doing it is something called relationship. And relationship is how you look at your customer base every 2 months, every 3 months. And you send out the survey to everybody at the same time, and you get a snapshot in time of what's going on within your business from those people that are prepared to return the survey. And those of you that took part in the survey will realise actually people are happy to give responses. And I think at the moment, during lockdown, they're really keen to give you your feedback. So if you can keep riding that momentum and keep learning from these people, it will put your customers at the heart of your decision-making process, and it will ensure that they feel as if you care about them and you care about the scheme in which you deliver. So the relationship piece just gives you a score over time effectively. And it's a really good way of just testing whether or not things that you've done changes have made a difference. So let's say you've introduced some of the products that you're going to see today as part of the expo. So it might be the pool platforms, or it could be the cuddle blanket, or it could be the aquaplane, the board, and the turtle tots. You could introduce that service into your business and then a couple of weeks later do a survey to see whether or not that's actually improved your Net Promoter Score. The really interesting thing about the Net Promoter Score is it's a way of getting into people's hearts and heads, because you don't recommend an organisation if you're not confident that that organisation is going to deliver the same quality of service to the customer, to the person, your friend, that you've recommended them to. Because if you do recommend an organisation to somebody and that person goes and has an experience with them that isn't very good, they actually come back to you and say, well, what's wrong? They don't trust you anymore because you recommended something that wasn't very good. So if you can get into your customers' hearts and into their heads, you can use that in a way to judge their feeling and to start understanding how loyal they are to you, how satisfied they are with the services that you offer, and whether they would recommend to somebody else, which increases the number of people that take part in your swim scheme. So with a single question, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this swim school to a friend, a colleague, or a neighbour? You can get a really good set of insights around customer loyalty, customer feeling, your Net Promoter Score, and contribute to a benchmark score so that we can actually see where organisations are doing really, really well, find out what it is that they're doing, and work out how we can share that best practice so that we can lift the standards of swimming lessons across all of the activity areas that we take part in. It's really odd doing this at this moment in time because I'm getting no feedback whatsoever. If anybody's got any questions, I think I can see questions if people put them in. So if you've got any questions, please just send them in. Obviously, this live stream will be recorded so that you can pick it up at a later stage and you can have a look if you didn't understand anything. And we're going to be posting throughout the day with more information on the Net Promoter Score and other services that we operate as a business, because our business, as I said, is about trying to put the customer at the heart of your decision-making process. And we offer a number of other things as well as Net Promoter Score. So, for example, we offer a product called Swim Focus. Swim Focus is effectively an inquiry management tool. So it helps you basically generate inquiries and manage those inquiries so that you don't miss an opportunity for a customer who wants to join your scheme And you can also then measure things like the return on your investment using it, because it asks the customer, where did they hear about you? So it might have been on Facebook, or it could have been through a local session that you did at a school fair or something like that. So it really helps you to manage your inquiries for swim school memberships, but it also helps you to understand the return on that investment. We do something else called Recovery Focus, and Recovery Focus is a product that effectively helps you to try and retain customers. So if you're running things like DD schemes, if somebody decides to cancel, it gives you an opportunity to find out why they're cancelling and if there's anything you could have done in order to have kept them in the scheme. And the last thing we do, which may not be of relevance to a lot of you, is something called ActiveNet, which is effectively this type of process, but done on a live networking, sitting round tables, 150 people in a hotel for 2 days. And we bring buyers and suppliers together, just like the STA Expo is doing today. And LeisureNet has been around a long time. You know, we're 20 years this year in doing what we do. We work predominantly in the public leisure sector, so we work with local authorities, with trusts and with external partners. We do work with a number of the private gym chains, and we've got great relationships with people like Simspur and Sport England and Community Leisure UK Limited. So we work in those levels that help people make a difference on a bigger scale, predominantly around the benchmarking side of things. So just as a reminder, in the last few minutes that we've got, what we've talked about today is something called the Net Promoter Score. We're offering the Net Promoter Score at £10 per month per site. Normally it's charged at £30 per month per site. So it's a really good discount if you want to take part in it. We can help you with learning and development around how to use the platforms and how to use the survey and what to do with the results that you get. And it's a really simple piece of questioning to your customers that generates you a score, generates you improvement opportunities. But most importantly, if people give you that 9 or 10, if they're prepared to promote you, if they're prepared to talk about you in a positive way to friends, to family, to people at the school gate, then you've got that chance to generate referrals. You've got an opportunity for people to go, yeah, well, actually, this swimming school is really, really good. And they've given me this voucher, so you can have an offer. You could maybe do a 10% off the first lesson, or you could do a free first lesson, or you could add in some value. So if somebody does join your scheme and pays for the first 10 lessons, perhaps you could give them a free set of goggles from Speedo or something like that, in order to generate more business, more loyalty, more satisfaction, and of course the most important thing, which is teaching more children to swim. Because the more children that can swim, the less challenges that we'll face when parents take their children on a holiday, etc., and the more confident we can all be that our children are safe around water and can enjoy themselves around water, which is ultimately the reason we're all here. So we can help you. We're LeisureNet Solutions. If you look for our website, www.leisure-net.org, and you'll find all of the services that we offer as part of that website. We're all over social media, the Twitter. We don't use Instagram much, but we use Facebook, we use LinkedIn, etc. So if you want to find us, you can find us there. My name's David Monkhouse. Again, you'll find me all over the social media. I predominantly use Twitter, so I think my handle is @DPMCL. So have a look, have a chat, or put some comments into the boxes, and I'm more than happy to have that conversation with you, and we'll see what we can do. We can do live demos, we can do online demos, we can show you how the platform works. It's really very, very simple. And I hope that some of you that did use the CE Focus platform, which is our satisfaction survey platform, can see how simple and straightforward it is, and therefore, you know, we can just add Net Promoter Score to that, and you can continue to use our platforms and our services there. I really hope you all have a great expo. There's some really good suppliers on this piece. I have to say, the one thing that I'm really interested in is the bricks bag. I think those bags look absolutely fabulous, and I think I'd have one. Even though I don't really swim, I think I'd still have one of those. I think they're fantastic. So there's some really good suppliers here. Please make sure you listen into Big Wave. Big Wave Media are one of our partners. We do a lot of work with them. They help create all of our platforms, our surveys and our reports. So if you've ever had a report from us recently, you'll see that's come from Big Wave. So make the most of that. And I just want to say a really big thank you to Rav, to Zoe, and to Dave for organising this, for inviting us to come along. Really useful. Enjoy. That's my 15 minutes up. Thank you so much for your time. Take care and give me a shout if you need it.